Oob.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Both players find themselves in the unarmed. Oob immediately goes in with the recovery and sends Dobrein flying, but he gets the neutral air. And both players find themselves taking a decent amount of damage from each other's unarmed. Dobrein has a spear, however. Oob yet to pick up a weapon, boxing him out with these neutral lights. Neither player really finding any moves that are connecting. Oob goes in for the D-light. Another neutral air.
Brian's still working those neutral lights.
Yeah. Boxing him out with the neutral light, but Oob finds a downer on the way back down. He's still taking a decent amount of damage, and Dobrein is trying to box him out with some side airs. Oob goes for a risky side air, gets punished by a side light from Dobrein, and he's finding himself racking up a lot of damage from Dobrein's Queen Eye.
Game crashed there.
Oh, it did? Okay. Dobrein hits him off the ground pound. Oob tosses a weapon aside, goes to recovery, and finds himself not hitting the side of Mammoth Fortress and dies off the bottom of the stage. Dobrein takes the stock lead, only in the orange. Oob, immediately spawning, finds the neutral air unarmed combo and picks up a hammer. Deciding not to toss it aside, however, but finds a neutral signature, sending Dobrein into the red and off the map, disarming him. Goes for a gravy cancel neutral sig, and he doesn't get it, but the scoop sends Dobrein off the top of the map. Oob holding onto the hammer, gets the stomp into the side air. Doesn't quite kill Dobrein, but will he be able to get the ledge guard? We're going to find out. Goes deep, goes to the unarmed, and gets the side sig, launching Dobrein off the side of the map and evening it up as if there was never an advantage in the first place. Oob holding onto the weapon, hits him with the side air, and gets the neutral light to be able to rack up a decent amount of damage against Dobrein's Queen Eye. Oob launching the...
Back in the game.
Oob launching the hammer into Dobrein's face. Dobrein holding
Going
on
for
the
that
spear.
side sig. Doesn't connect. Dobrein punishing with that side air. Ends up eating the neutral sig. 2 neutral sigs from Oob. Throws the hammer. And he gets the ground pound to take the stock off Dobrein.
Oob holding on to the hammer right now. Tosses aside, denying every weapon that he can from Dobrein. Dobrein at a decent stock disadvantage. Gives him a thumbs up. And Oob, taking no time to taunt in return, is just trying to take as much of an advantage out of the stock as he possibly can. Tosses the mine into Dobrein. Dobrein boxing him with some neutral lights, but Oob's got a solid stock lead. Finding himself in the orange, gets the hammer and finds a side sig, launching him off the side of the map.
Dobrein keeping him at bay with those neutral lights and following up with that side air. Gets another side air.
And Oob finds himself...
And there's the ground pound. Doesn't need it. Oob falling down.
Yeah, the second falling stock that Oob has lost during this match. Not finding his way back into Mammoth Fortress and losing his stock, evening it up 1-1. But Dobrein taking a decent amount of damage. Oob charges that neutral signature, but it doesn't land. Doesn't get punished either.
Dobrein playing it slow, playing it safe. Ends up eating that downlight from Oob.
Oob goes to the Gravy Cancel neutral signature to cover a landing, but Dobrein gives him his space. Oob launches the axe to his face, picks it up, and goes for the downer, sending Dobrein into the air and into the red.
Goes for that gravy side.
And it connects.
Sends him flying.
Disarms him as well.
He's back on stage.
And a neutral
Gets
signature.
the neutral sig.
Using that to cover the fact that Dobrein was trying to get around him and catching him in midair, Dobrein is in trouble and we've got baby rage.
Really?
Oob launching the bomb off the side of the map, goes for a side signature, but Dobrein slowing down the pace of the game significantly, waiting for Oob to make an approach and punishing him. He has no intention.
Oob keeps on holding on to those N6. Dobrein might find his way to even up these stocks here.
Tosses the guitars into his face. Oob's having difficulty ending the stock. He's gotten some great punishes, but Dobrein is managing to hold on, and he's not getting hit by anything significant. Oob tosses the hammer aside, gets the axe. He's just trying to do whatever he can to end the stock, but Dobrein's doing a great job of holding on to this.
Oob finds the stomp, finds the side air, and takes the game.
Game 1 goes to Oob. Clearly not having lag spikes anymore, as he shows that he can play a very convincing Teros. Oob says he bans King's Pass and Great Hall, and he lets Dobrein pick his stage. We're going to be moving on to Game 2 of Winter Semis. Let's see what legends they out for. Oob and Dobrein are both kind of known for switching between their legends, not really showing a main. And there's Dobrein's Ada, Oob sticking with Teros. I would be terrified.
Taking it to the gravy boat.
If I was Dobrein, I would be terrified fighting that Teros. With my 3 defense against an axe and a hammer, that would be terrifying.
You can also kind of cover yourself with that. The way he uses his neutral lights and the way he uses his guns, Oob might find some difficulty getting onto him with a weapon.
That's absolutely true. But will he need a weapon if he can get some unarmed? There's the D-light, and there's the neutral light to be able to cover Dobrein's landing, already sending him into hard yellow. Oob finding that down air. Dobrein dodging in, however, getting some unarmed combo of his own onto Oob. Has the spear, he's going to try to box him out with these weapons.
Gets that down light side air.
Racking up the damage very quickly. Oob already
tries to chain it up with a neutral air. Gets back onto the stage and hits him up with, was that 2? 3 neutrals. 3 neutral lights.
The amount of neutral lights are just racking up the damage. Oob already in the red. Is only going to take a quick signature.
Oob going for that gravy side sig. Doesn't connect.
Dobrein going for 2 side sigs.
Dobrein racks up so much damage that side air just sends Oob flying off of the gravy boat.
And even though I was talking about how Ada's got that 3 defense, you know, making it really risky if she gets hit by any moves, she's got so much attack that Teros basically looks like Ada in this matchup. Racking up that damage and getting destroyed by those spear signatures. Lands, however, with a neutral air. Holds on the axe and tries to box him out with a neutral air. Doesn't quite get it. Oob holding onto the axe, goes for a neutral sig and gets punished by Dobrein's sideline.
Dobrein keeping up that pressure. Using those neutral airs and those neutral lights. Racking up the damage, waiting until he can get that side air kill. Oob finds the stomp, and he finds the Sair. Dobrein having trouble getting onto the ledge. But he does. Both players back on stage. Dobrein picks up the guns, tries to get the side sig, but it doesn't connect.
I feel like
good coverage with the bomb and the disco, but it's not enough to kill Dobrein. Dobrein looking for that side air, trying to push him off the map, but it doesn't work. Oob back with that hammer.
Both players find themselves in the red, but the hammer is going to be very difficult to land onto Dobrein when he's got the gun spacing out with side airs. I feel like Oob needs to be a little bit
risky side sig, but finds the ground pound with the spear and takes the stock off Oob. 3-1.
I feel like Oob is going to need to be a little bit more risky when he goes for those ledge guards. He lets Dobrein recover to the side of the stage just too easily, only using often a down air to punish him rather than the ground pound.
Dobrein spear game right now is just insane. The amount of follow-up that he has.
Yeah, and the amount of punishes that he's got for Oob trying to go for weapons. He doesn't even want to throw away the weapons. He wants Oob to try to go for them. But a recovery...
just so he can hit him with more end lights and more Sairs.
Yeah, but a recovery sends him off the top, but at what cost? Its stocks are 2-1 right now. Oob is in the orange, and he's going to have difficulty trying to rack up damage onto Ada. But if he gets a good hammer string, he could make this 1-1 very quickly. Both players go for the same weapon. Dobrein picks it up, but Oob finds a recovery attack.
Oob find that side air into weapon throw. Goes for the reverse and sig, and he finds it.
Wow, that neutral sig barely picking Dobrein. Like, that, I'm not quite sure how that hit. It looked like it got caught from behind him, but regardless, it sends Dobrein on the side of the map.
The hitbox does go behind you with that end sig.
Yeah, and Dobrein didn't have his jump, so when he got hit by that end sig and launched off the map, there was no way he could get back. And Oob does exactly what he needed to, which was ending that stock quickly without taking any damage himself.
But Dobrein doing what he needs to. Hitting him with the tip of that spear with that end light. And racking up the damage.
Oob holding onto the hammer, tosses it into his face, misses, and gets hit by
that side air.
Ooh, Oob finds himself off the side of the stage.
For another one to try and close. Ends up getting the recovery and taking the game.
A recovery killing him off the top, giving game 2 to Dobrein. And we're going on to game 3. Let's see if Oob decides to switch it up from his Teros. He felt like he was confident, but he was ending up getting hit by moves and getting killed by things that I feel like he didn't expect to get killed by. Like that recovery, I didn't think it would kill Teros off the top at that percentage, but it definitely did.
Rand switching it up, going to Hattori.
And shoutouts to Twitch for supplying Gravy Cancel with quality options. Making sure that they interrupt our streaming experience for everybody as they haphazardly slap that stuff on. If anybody's having trouble with the quality or the stream, if it's disconnecting, whatever, just refresh once and you'll have the quality options available for you.
Is stream kill? Stream is kill for me.
Stream's only kill because you haven't refreshed. It's kill because there's quality options now.
Okie dokie. Players picking Mammoth Fortress. Oob staying on that Sentinel. Going back to Sentinel.
Just got confirmed from Ken that stream is not kill, stream is gravy. Dobrein switching to Hattori, Oob on the Sentinel.
And it's all gravy here at Gravy Cancel Sunday. It's all gravy, baby. Hot match. Oob versus Dobrein on Mammoth Fortress. Let's get it.
Game 3. This is a best of 3. Both players dancing around with their unarmed right now. Oob finds the bomb, tries to throw it at him, but Dobrein has the spear. Hitting him out with
using that neutral light and keeping that weapon up as bait.
Yep, doesn't want to deny it because he wants Oob to go for it. Doesn't quite care whether or not Oob has a weapon.
Oob very graceful. Dobrein very graceful with that side air into side light. With even more follow-up using that end light again.
Oob holding onto the hammer.
Finding his way in and getting his damage out.
Yeah, goes for the side
sig. And that is a hard-hitting signature. Dobrein does not want to get hit with that right now at his stock.
Absolutely not. Dobrein having a great piece of mind to be able to use his neutral light to space around Oob's attempts to attack him with the side light with his hammer. Tosses aside, Oob
trying to roll Dobrein into the mine. Doesn't work out, and it's taken off the playing field. He ends up hitting Oob with his spear ground pound.
Again with the ground pound.
Switches it up, picks up his sword.
Dobrein's just using it. Ground pound
runs up right into the face of Dobrein and throws the horn at him, just stunning him.
Ooh, but a neutral signature to punish his landing. Dobrein's doing an excellent job both with ground pounds and neutral lights to punish landings from Oob in places that he thinks Oob is going to go. He's barely... Wow, the guitars hit him in the head.
What a throw.
Dobrein's being a little bit surprised by that, but he finds a D-Light side air to kill him off the side of the map, taking advantage 3-2.
If anything, I give Oob serious props for the consistency with his accuracy on the throws.
Yeah, with the guitar throws, definitely. Considering how small the weapons are compared to something like a lance or a hammer, he is indeed quite good at it. There's another one that we see, and a spike ball being tossed just barely over Dobrein's head. Pulling the guitars, goes for a side stick, tries to punish, goes for a weapon toss, but doesn't connect. The side air barely missing Dobrein's face, and Dobrein going for a down stick, doesn't connect.
Dobrein holding his ground and using that neutral light.
Tosses the spear into Oob. It connects. Oob doesn't find any follow-up, and he's getting the damage racked up on him very quickly. He has absolutely no idea how to close out the stock on Dobrein. Finds a stop, but doesn't get the side air follow-up, and another neutral light. Oob's in the red.
Very risky down sig coming out from Dobrein, but it's not punished by Oob.
Oob holding on the hammer, and he goes for a side air, but gets punished by Dobrein's ground pound, and a neutral signature to send Oob
Dobrein finds
flying.
that end sig. Is he going to be able to close out Oob's stock? Looks for that down sig, down light, and he finds it.
A down light side air into a weapon toss that connects for extra style points. Dobrein takes the lead. Oob finding himself at one stock. He's in a dangerous position. If he can end the stock now, he'll probably be able to find a way to clutch things out with the hammer. There's the ground pound, sends Dobrein flying, but doesn't kill the stock, and there's the side light to end it. Oob brings the stocks 1-2.
Here's the map of weapons, grabs that horn.
Ooh. Both players opted to throw
his
what they
hammer,
have.
gets the unarmed out, and finds those guitars. Needs to get his pressure in very quickly if he wants to win this match.
There's the side air into the weapon toss into the unarmed combo, bringing Dobrein
Goes
to
for that
yellow.
side sig. Denies Dobrein of another weapon. He doesn't want him picking up that spear.
So far, so good in regards to being able to come back. He's not taking damage. He's dealing a decent amount of damage himself. But Dobrein now has the sword.
Opts for the instead of the scoop, but he manages to find his way back to the ground and get some pressure back unarmed. Dobrein has the spear in his hand again, being a lot more of a threat with that spear than the sword.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Oob throw the guitars away right now and look for something else. There's the hammer. Dobrein into the orange. Tries to go for a weapon toss combo. Doesn't get it, but gets the unarmed instead. Dobrein's in the red, and Oob is only in the yellow. He's making this comeback look possible. Will he be able to find a signature to end the stock? There's
Goes
the
for the
gravy
gravy D-sig. Doesn't catch, but good attempt. Gets punished by Dobrein with the side light in the side air.
He's definitely not going to be able to take another one of those side light side airs. And there's the
He's
side
the
sig.
side sig, 1-1. Oob still has a chance here.
Oob bringing back what was a 2-stock deficit, evening it up, and he's only in the yellow. He has a chance to win. Dobrein looking for a weapon. Oob tosses the bomb aside. Dobrein dodges it, and a weapon spawns, and he picks it up. It's a spear for Dobrein.
Dobrein juggling him with those neutral airs.
Yeah, finally taking advantage of that option coverage for
And he
Oob trying
finds
to
the
land.
neutral light. He's not trying to let Oob get any kind of in. He's playing it safe, and he's playing it smart.
A sword throw to cover the fact that Oob was going high to toss that mine, and Dobrein finds another sword, gets a D-Light side air, and forces Oob off the side of the map. He's in the red. A spike ball to connect. This is danger zone for Oob. A D-Light in
Oob
the side
finds
air.
the downlight, finds the side air, picks up another spear. He gets the throw, doesn't get the ground pound. Oob with the hammer, gets punched in the face, and loses the set.
Player 2
Launched
wins.
off the map by a side air.